Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Best Life and Beyond. This is what to expect in the month of April at the Disneyland Resort for 2022.
Yes, we are going to share with you pretty much everything you need to know. We're going to talk about crowds, weather, refurbs, food, shows, pretty much anything we can think of.
Yeah.
So let's get started. We're going to get right to it, and we're going to start off with crowds. Is it going to be crowded in the month of April?
I can pretty much tell you yes. This has been the case for most of the months of this year. We are in a different kind of mode here at Disneyland with reservations, making it very different as far as crowd levels are concerned. It seems to be crowded most of the time. You get your fluctuations, you get certain days that are light, but on average, especially this month coming up, we have spring break in effect. That's a guaranteed crowd jump right there. There's going to be a lot of people. So.
Yeah, between spring break, people are coming for their Easter vacations.
Yeah.
The weather is absolutely beautiful, which we're going to talk about next. What is the weather like? And that is a factor of why it is so crowded in April.
Yeah.
It's an average of about the high 70s, I'd say, maybe even mid 70s.
Yeah, but that can even fluctuate and get warmer. It can get up to the 80s, almost 90 sometimes.
Yep.
But like we had very recently, we just had a big rainstorm. It lasted for about a day and a half. And we had good rain, and it was about 60 degrees or so. It wasn't too cold, but we had some blustery, windy, rainy conditions that aren't normal for this area, but it does happen, and it continues into spring. So if you see that in the forecast at all, just be prepared with a poncho, an umbrella, maybe some waterproof shoes. Yep. It does happen, and we were here to experience it if you want to see that video. It was quite the storm.
Next, we're going to talk about the hours here at the Disneyland Resort. Wonderful news. Downtown Disney District that you do not need park admission to get into. You do have to pay for parking, but that will be open until 1 a.m.
Nice.
Which is really cool. That doesn't mean that all of the little food carts and every single thing are going to be open, but for the most part, the district will be open until 1 a.m. And if you want, you can head on into World of Disney and say hello.
World of Disney.
To Wad Tim for us.
You can. And as far as the park hours, Disneyland, a lot of times is opening at 8 in the morning and closing at midnight.
Oh,
Make sure to check the app though, just in case. There are some special events that happen here and there, so you want to make sure. But for the most part, that's what's going on with the hours for Disneyland. Disney California Adventure.
Most nights it is staying open until 10 p.m. I think I saw like one date, maybe two on there where it closed at 9, but for the most part it looks like Disneyland's gonna be midnight, DCA is gonna be about 10, and like I said, Downtown Disney District, 1 a.m. baby.
And speaking of Downtown Disney, the Disneyland Forward project, the new construction, or I should say the demolition that was happening over by the hotel, all those buildings are completely gone. We're talking about Earl of Sandwich, we're talking about AMC Theater, Sugar Boo, Starbucks, erased from the map. That part of that project is complete. They will now start probably surfacing the area and start to build back up of the Disneyland Forward project. Yeah,
that project is actually a multi-year project, so that's just like one little phase. And I know it seems like a lot to us when we walk back there, and you know, AMC Earl of Sandwich, when it is like leveled how it is now, it's kind of weird. It's a little jarring when you're used to coming here a lot.
And the sight line is very strange because you can see right through to the Paradise Pier Hotel.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It just feels naked without it over there. But those walls will stay up. You'll see that if you're going through there. There seems to be some music performances at the stage that is right in that same area in front of the old ESPN zone. I'm not sure of the nights, but every once in a while we'll walk through there and there's live music playing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I couldn't really find it on the calendar for sure, but it seems like almost every night, especially while it's spring break.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for some live entertainment, you could definitely head over to Downtown Disney and listen to some fun jams.
Also at Downtown Disney, Katie,
is the Eggstravaganza. It's the Easter egg hunt. It normally happens over in Disneyland, DCA, and at Downtown Disney, but while we're talking about Downtown Disney, we're going to just tell you about the Downtown Disney portion of the Eggstravaganza. That will begin on March 31st, so the last day of March, and it'll go all the way until April 17th. So if you want to get every single map, you have to make sure go get your Downtown Disney map. I personally think it's so much fun to find the Easter eggs over in Downtown Disney because they just have so many cute little spots for them, so, you know.
And if you don't know what it is, they've got pretty large-sized eggs that they place usually in upper portions of areas that are character based. You know, the characters are painted on them. And your goal is to find each one of them in their locations and mark them on your map.
So just remember, you do not need park admission if you want to go to Downtown Disney and do the Eggstravaganza hunt. Another thing that's pretty cool for Food and Wine Festival that is winding down this year, again, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but if you are in the Downtown Disney district, you can have some interactions and some meet and greets with some of the artists.
Yeah.
So you can see these artists on April 4th, April 10th, April 16th, April 17th, April 23rd, and April 24th.
And also kind of in the Downtown Disney subject matter, the monorail has been back running for a long time now. But the cool thing is, you don't have to wear a mask there anymore. It's nice because we don't have air conditioning in our monorail, so that extra layer, it got a little hot. So it's nice that that's gone. You don't need that anymore to ride the monorail.
Yeah, I think that didn't fall under the California or the transportation law or rule that's in effect right now. If you were to go on an airplane, you do have to wear a mask right now. But I think the monorail was exempt from that because we have our windows down the entire time on the Disneyland monorail system. So I think that's what they're, why it skirted through. But there's the rule in case you're coming and you're worried about not having a mask on the monorail. You don't need it.
And speaking of that subject, we get asked this a lot. Do you need a vaccination card to enter Disneyland? No, you do not. It is not required. You are basically on the honor system as far as your health is concerned when you're coming to a public place like Disneyland.
Yeah, you do not need a proof of test. You don't need proof of vaccination. And, they're not really enforcing it or checking anything. So, like Spencer said, it is on the honor system. So just be advised, if you want to wear a mask and you feel more comfortable, you're more than able to, but it is not required here at Disneyland.
And more than a vaccination card, I think the thing that you really need to be aware of and that you need to come to Disneyland Resort is a reservation. It is still operating with that requirement. So if you're coming from far away, make sure you've got your days reserved and make sure all your family members are covered, because families who come from super far away, thousands of miles, aren't going to get the chance to come to Disneyland because of a reservation system. So just be aware of that. It's not a fun hoop to have to jump through. It still exists. We're hoping it goes away in the future. No one likes it, but that is the reality when you come to the Disneyland Resort, whether you're a Magic Key holder, a ticket holder, whatever the case, you want to just come and live your best Disney life, you need to make a reservation.
Also announced that if you are a Magic Key holder and you are missing your reservations, they are now enforcing the no-show policy.
Penalized.
So if you have any other questions or concerns, it's kind of a little bit complex. I think it's like 90 days or 60 days if you miss so many 3 in a row.
We're not entirely sure because we haven't really talked to anybody or know anybody who has been penalized to that level. And when you ask and call up and ask, they won't tell you if you have 1, 2, or if you have 3 strikes.
Right.
For some reason. That is sensitive information to them, which I believe is helpful to know.
Yeah.
But they won't tell you. So just be aware and keep a self-count.
Keep track.
They're going to just want to surprise you with it for some reason. I don't know what that's about. And over at the Disneyland Resort Hotels, Grand Californian specifically, they have a little coffee cart in the lobby to the left of the big fireplace that is going to be featuring some Easter cookies, among other nice, fun treats and delectable delights.
And over at the Disneyland Hotel, something that we've been really loving to do when we can't get a park reservation, we head over to Trader Sam's. And some of our favorite artists, the Kalama Brothers, are there performing.
Yep.
We've seen them on Wednesday night, and I think it was a Friday or a Saturday night. So head over to Trader Sam's if you, don't have a park reservation. You want some good food, some good drinks, and some good entertainment.
Or if you're even staying at the hotel, also, it's basically part of the Disneyland Hotel footprint. So it's nice that it's right there. And speaking of the Disneyland Hotel, the DVC Tower, the Disney Vacation Club Tower, is upward. It's
started to
building.
come up from the ground.
Yes, so be aware if you're staying there. You might hear some work, you might see some work. It's a work in progress.
And now moving on to news and events. We have a lot for you, so
it's a big month.
Buckle up, get ready.
Yeah, there's some serious stuff coming back that's been absent for quite some time. Not since the parks have reopened have we seen what we're about to reveal to you and the things that are coming this month.
Yeah, it's not the biggest secret, but our entertainment, most of it, is going to be back on April 22nd. We are going to have, over at Disneyland, Main Street Electrical Parade with a new float.
And on that same note, when we're talking about Main Street Electrical Parade, or MSEP as I like to call it, if you're in the know, 8:45 and 10:30, 2 shows daily, every day. As
well as Disneyland Forever, in my opinion, one of the best nighttime spectacular fireworks shows, will be showing at the Disneyland Resort. Disneyland Forever, when it is going, it will just be on the weekends once it starts. It'll just be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. During the week, you're gonna have projections only of Mixed Magic.
Over at DCA, we're getting back World of Color. Oh my gosh. The nighttime extravaganza that is specific to DCA, the water, the lights, the fire, everything about it, the animation, the music. It is a spectacular show. It's amazing.
So now that we mentioned all of the nighttime spectaculars that are returning this month on April 22nd, we are frequently asked, are dining packages coming back? Is there going to be a dessert party like we used to have for World of Color? As of shooting this, we still have no confirmation, no announcements on that. But if we do find out that those are a thing, we will come back and edit that into this video.
But if you're here before the 22nd in the month of April, you're still gonna get nighttime fireworks in the form of Mickey's Mixed Magic. It's a shorter show, a lot of projections on Main Street. It's a great show, but it's pretty condensed and short, but that's gonna be running until the 17th of April before the big Disneyland Forever starts. So.
Yeah, and those will be every single night, weather permitting. So like in every one of these update videos, you'll see the lighting kind of change, and you know, it's just one of those things at Disneyland. So just in case you're seeing that, we're fighting the sun here.
Okay, back to Disneyland Park, New Orleans Square, Tom Sawyer's Island, and the rafts. For a brief time, the rafts were making what I was calling a grand circle tour of the river because they weren't going to the same dock. Well, it's back to normal operation. They're going just across the river, directly across from where Haunted Mansion is, and landing over there. They've finished work on the portion of Fantasmic that they were working on over there that was prohibiting them from stopping there. So if you got to do that, feel lucky that you got to do that.
Yeah.
Consider yourself lucky because it was a brief thing that was only done because they couldn't access that dock, but that work is finished. They're still doing work on Fantasmic and the other vaults, as I call them, but that one is cleared. And also what I noticed today was that the Columbia is back in operation. They've been working on the Columbia for a while, getting it all rigged up with the ropes and the rigging for Fantasmic, because it's one of the characters, I would say, in Fantasmic, right?
Technically, yeah.
But there's a lot of swashbuckling that happens on there, so they need all the ropes to be rigged and all that. Well, it's done. It was on the river today. I saw it along with the Mark Twain, so both boats were working today. It was a beautiful thing to see.
That
the rafts
is a good feeling,
back in their normal operation, the canoes doing their thing. It's quite a scene on the river now. So back to normal for the most part on the river, but also in New Orleans Square, we're seeing a ton of construction continuing. Pirates of the Caribbean still down. They reworked the entire front queue. The 2 trees you may have heard that are in the main queue when you first walk in under the tunnel are gone, completely gone. They've torn up the floor in there. They're working on that whole thing, as well as the whole New Orleans Square area is being a little bit revamped to handle, I think, the crowd that's coming for Fantasmic, as well as, you know, the bottleneck that happens when you get the Pirates of the Caribbean queue and the Haunted Mansion queue coming together. It becomes a big mess up there, so they're fixing one of the areas up there. So you're gonna see a lot of walls up there for a little while, probably until Fantasmic comes back.
Yeah, and I thought something that was cool on those walls that I didn't even realize is that they're kind of photo ops.
They are.
And I didn't even realize. I thought they, you know, were beautiful illustrations. They looked great, but you can actually like use them as photo ops, which is pretty cool considering New Orleans Square is basically New Orleans Square.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Now.
Yeah.
And speaking of New Orleans Square, Blue Bayou, it is going to close on the 21st of April. So right now, if you were to go dine in Blue Bayou and you got a reservation, which people are finding a little bit easier right now, why? Because there's literally no view of the pirates. The boats aren't going by, so they have erected a wall. So there's a wall. You can still eat at the Blue Bayou until the 21st, but you have to be advised there is a wall. We are going to go and check that out. and see what it's like. So stay tuned to our channel if you want to see what dining with the wall is like.
I think we should call it the Wall Bayou.
The Wall Bayou. That's probably what we'll call it.
Yeah.
And we're not sure exactly when that's going to reopen. We're thinking maybe when Pirates reopens, because it's on such an extended refurb. We're thinking maybe summer, maybe late May. Again, there's no definitive timeline, and it's just not on the calendar. Same thing with Pirates.
And over in Tomorrowland, Space Mountain, one of my favorite attractions, going down on April 28th, but only on April 28th, because on the 29th, Hyperspace Mountain comes back, the Star Wars overlay that happens for Space Mountain, which I think is pretty awesome. I love original Space Mountain, but the Star Wars one is pretty dang cool, especially because you're right next door to the Star Trader, and you've got Star Tours over there. It's just kind of really ties in the whole Tomorrowland Star Wars vibe to me.
Yeah, a lot of people really like it, and a lot of people are really excited to bring that back.
Oh yeah, and I don't know, they haven't said the length of time it's going to run for.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining it's going to be there for May the 4th be with you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to go until the end of summer because we start going into Halloween season right after summer. By September, it's Halloween at Disneyland. I think we're going to get Ghost Galaxy.
I was just going to say, I hope we get Ghost Galaxy back.
That's my theory. That's just my thought, is that they're going to add that back in. So, fingers crossed for Space Mountain lovers and Hyperspace Mountain lovers and Ghost Galaxy lovers. Yes. You might just get your wish this year.
And speaking of Tomorrowland, the Tomorrowland Terrace right next door to the Galactic Grill, the dance parties are back.
Yes, they are. They are Pixar themed, and they have a special menu for those after hours dance nights events.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you want to check that out, you want to get your dance on with some characters, you can do that.
I've even noticed in the daytime they're playing some pretty cool music over there, so it's worth checking out, even just for that. Very spacey kind of lounge music happening. For daytime dancing exploits, if you really want to just freestyle. And then jumping over to Frontierland, Katie.
Yes, over in Frontierland, right next to Rancho del Zocalo, Mirabelle is meeting with guests in the park. You can talk to her, take some photos.
But
super
expect
popular.
A very long line.
Yes.
I was there today, and they were cutting the line off. People were waiting, like, you know, till the next time she came out for like an hour. It's a very popular meet and greet. I would say probably the most popular one in the park as of right now. So just be prepared to wait a while, or maybe try to get in the front of that line when she first comes out or something like that. But it's very popular, and rightfully so.
Something else that's really popular during spring, especially if you're here in April, you may notice little baby ducklings throughout the park. It's very common in spring for all of our ducks to have their little ducklings, and they're waddling all about the Disneyland Resort. And this is our reminder to all of you, please do not touch the ducks or the ducklings. I know it's so tempting because they're so precious, but it's actually very dangerous to their health if you, you know, touch the ducklings. I admit, they are just like these little balls of fluffy cuteness. Their little beaks and their little feet, but just stay clear of them. You know, just remember not to touch, and gently remind some people if you can. We do often, you know, no offense to it, just don't touch the cute little baby ducklings.
Keep away, give them the right of the way. You know, they have right of way here at Disneyland. And in Adventureland, right at the opening of Adventureland, something I feel deserves recognition is the fact that one of our dear cast member friends who's been here for a long time, one of our favorites, they're all of our favorites, but this guy, he's retiring, and we're sad, but we're happy for him at the same time. April 1st will be Maynard's last day. He usually occupies the Tiki Room, and if you can maybe fit in, you know, that first day if you're here in April, if you could get a Tiki Room with Maynard, man, he really makes it fun. He is a character.
Welcome, bird lovers, to Walt Disney's enchanted Tiki Room, brought to you by our friends at Dole. Now, we do allow Munchie Munchie, and we do allow Blinky Blinky. Thank you for the clapping action. You just put smiles to keep in our face, see? Oh, good. Aloha! Aloha! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now, our master of ceremonies is a very smart bird. His name is Jose. Sometimes when I wake him up, he calls me silly. Jose!
Buenos dias, senorita. My siestas are getting shorter and shorter.
I'm not a girl.
Oh, look
I'm
at
not
all
a
the
girl. You haven't gotten too much sleep. You try to go fall asleep, your tongue goes in there, it's all rubber. You know, like, no, it's kind of like bumpy. Bumpy tongue syndrome. I no sleep for him. You don't want bumpy tongue syndrome? No, he's no good.
He's no good, huh?
Yeah, unless you wear a beanie real tight and put ice cubes inside. Then maybe have a pumpkin pie or two.
That'd be a good solution.
I don't know if it's scientific, but who am I? I'm not scientific. I have to go back into the burger place now.
Okay.
Bye, Maynard. We're gonna miss you, Maynard.
Yeah, we don't have any confirmation if he's actually gonna be in the parks on the 1st, but if you happen to be here, try to go over to Tiki Room and check it out and see if he is here because, man, he is so good. I'm desperately gonna miss him.
He's a national treasure. And then over right next to the castle, just off the hub in kind of the Fantasy Fair area is the Royal Theatre. And they are doing meet and greets with princesses. Again, I saw them today.
Yeah, it's so crazy that they're not going to use it as the theater for those shows yet.
Yeah.
I really miss those. Those were so fun and cute. But yeah, it's the construction is done.
It looks
for
beautiful.
a while they were not even in the princess, like the little hall. They were just out amongst Princess Fantasy Fair.
Yeah.
So if you're headed over there, expect that show is still not back, but you can actually go into that little Royal Theater and you can meet the princesses.
Yeah.
So when Disneyland originally announced that on April 22nd, we were going to be seeing more shows and entertainment return to the parks, they mentioned that Tale of the Lion King, which previously I believe was in DCA, they're gonna bring over to the Fantasyland Theater next to the little Troubadour Tavern where you can get, you know, the old baked potatoes and some other awesome snacks and treats. But we don't have a date. They just said spring. So could April see the beginning of Tale of the Lion King show back there? We don't have any confirmation of a date, but we're going to be staying tuned while we're in the park and hope that does happen sometime during April.
Hakuna Matata. Now, speaking of April, at Disneyland, the Eggstravaganza is coming back.
Yes, we did talk to you about how you can get a map and you can go and do the hunt over at the Downtown Disney District. But like we said, you're going to also be able to do the Eggstravaganza hunt over in DCA and at Disneyland.
Yeah.
So that will begin on the 31st of March and go all the way until April 17th. And you can purchase those maps over at Elias & Co. in DCA and at Disneyland at Plaza Point. So those maps are $9.99 and it will also include your stickers to put on the map and you'll get a prize egg. There are new eggs for this year, but the best part is you don't even have to find all of the eggs around the park. If you just say, hey, I want to get the map, I want to get the stickers to save, and I just want to redeem my prize now, you can do that.
Yeah.
You also get a Magic Keep discount if you are purchasing the Eggstravaganza hunt in anywhere on the Disneyland Resort. That's Downtown Disney, that's in DCA, and that's in Disneyland.
Excellent. Okay, now we're going to jump over the Esplanade over to DCA, Disney California Adventures Campus, specifically because the brand new attraction Web Slingers now has single rider.
Yeah, a lot of people are really excited about that because the wait can be pretty long being at it as it is a newer attraction.
Yeah.
A lot more people are able to experience it now with single rider option.
Also at Disney California Adventure, the Food and Wine Festival is coming to an end on the 26th of April. So you've got most of the month to get over there and try some of those fabulous foods, treats, drinks, all that good stuff. It's a great event. It's worth checking out, and a good bargain is if you buy a Sip and Savor Pass, it lowers the price of the items. You also get a discount if you're a Magic Key holder on that Sip and Savor Pass by a few dollars.
A little tip if you are going to Food and Wine Festival to order as many items as you can at one booth because those lines, especially for certain items, have been out of control, massive. So be prepared, be, on the, kind of check it out and see what time maybe it begins for the day that you're wanting to go. Just so you know, those lines, as a fair warning, they can be very, very long for that.
But it's really smart to just operate off one receipt, look at the menu, order everything you want from each booth. It'll all be on one receipt. Save that receipt though. That's going to be your ticket, and all you have to do is go up and hand it in instead of waiting in the excessively long lines to get your food. It's a great tip.
You'll basically just be in one line, which also can be long just to go get your food for some of the booths.
But not half as bad as waiting.
It's not 2 long lines. You'll cut it down to 1.
Yeah, because then you don't have to wait for credit card transactions and people paying money and all that kind of stuff to happen. You're just going up and sliding your ticket up there and getting your food.
And something I saw over on the entertainment calendar was on the 29th of April. It said Disney Junior Fun Fest. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that is, as I don't have children, but if you are into Disney Junior, looks like something over at DCA you can go and check out.
Should be fun. A non-official Disney event, but a good event nonetheless. Dapper Day, resort-wide, is happening. That's when everybody gets dressed up in their turn-of-the-century period clothing. It's almost like you fit Main Street's time frame. You can take pictures. You see people at the Tiki Room. It's a great event. People dressed up in their finest, living their best lives. It's coming up on the 28th.
And if you're coming to the resort between April 1st through the 3rd, WonderCon is a really big convention happening over just across the way at the Anaheim Convention Center. Now, there's always conventions happening, but WonderCon just happens to be a little bit bigger. So we are thinking that the parks might be very crowded, as well as Downtown Disney, during that block of time.
All right, moving on to refurbishments. We've covered a little bit of this in some of the things we've talked about, but obviously Pirates of the Caribbean, we're not sure when it's coming back. We're hearing sometime in the summer. Big refurb happening over there, as we talked about with the trees and the queue being gone. They're reworking that whole area. We're not sure when it's coming back, but definitely not this month.
There's actually quite a few of these extended refurbishments. Finding Nemo and Tarzan's Treehouse also included in that list.
Yeah.
They have been down for quite some time. Nemo probably the longest. There is no actual date. We're almost seeing it. I think the last I checked, the calendar went to, I think it was May, possibly June.
Well, they took down the sign that was on the attraction wall saying that it was coming back in the wintertime. That sign is gone, so we know that it has been extended. So no Nemo subs in the near future. I can't wait to see the paint job they did, because I can see it from the monorail.
Right, same thing with Tarzan's Treehouse. We don't know exactly when that'll be back, but again, these are all just kind of very extended refurbishments that we're seeing at Disneyland. And over in DCA, Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters. That is a tongue twister over in Cars Land. It's going to be down from the 11th of April to the 14th of April. So if you want to get on that attraction, just know it's going to be down for that time period. And for those of you that love meeting your favorite Disney characters at the parks, up close and personal, that's right, hugs, handshakes, high fives, and everything, you are going to be able to do that once again starting April 18th. We could not be more excited.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. What to expect in the month of April 2022 at the Disneyland Resort. We hope that was informative to you. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, now keep in mind, every once in a while, a couple of changes will happen throughout the month. We'll do our best to keep you updated. The best thing you can do is follow Best Life and Beyond on Instagram, as well as my Instagram, KT the Disney Bear, and Spencer's Surf Los Angeles with an E.
That's right.
If you have any other questions, please leave us a comment. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful and informative, let us know by giving it a thumbs up.
And most importantly, subscribe to this channel and hit your notification bell so you know when we go live and when we drop new videos. For Katie and myself, we will see you next time on Best Life and Beyond. Bye-bye, everybody.